So, when we started Silversea Expeditions, many of our expedition staff has never worked in luxury. They're very focused on expedition and the destination experience. And, it wasn't easy to transition for them from this very rugged, very basic expedition experience on board ships to what is an ultra-luxury experience. So Silversea, our colleagues that worked at Silversea for many years, they have deep experience in luxury. So we did a lot of training programs for our team. The expedition team very quickly realized the benefits of luxury expedition. To be able to deliver their expertise, their knowledge of the destination, and combine it with the knowledge of our colleagues that operated and is used to operate luxury cruises, it really is something very special. So initially, it took a bit of time to lead the team, to make them understand the benefit, but very quickly they got used to it. Very quickly they signed on for this, and now every one of the team, for years and years already, are so excited to work for the only truly luxury expedition company. Before Silversea Expeditions started, there was no luxury company that delivered expeditions. So it was almost like you had to endure some hardships if you wanted to go to Antarctica or the Arctic. Small ships, very basic food, bunk beds. And, we just asked the question, why must the luxury traveler sacrifice on luxury just to go to these amazing places? And the reality is we couldn't find an answer to that. There's no reason why the luxury traveler had to sacrifice any of their creature comforts to go on expedition. So that was really the starting point for us with Silversea Expeditions. We started in 2007 with our very first expedition, and the reality is many people made fun of us and they said luxury has got no place in expedition. Well, 20 years later, almost 20 years later, and many companies now say that they offer luxury expeditions. But I still believe that Silversea is the pioneer and still the only true luxury expedition company. And it was not easy to do. Many of the people that we worked with in the industry, expedition staff, they didn't understand the concept of luxury because they've never worked for a luxury company. So it was a learning curve for the team. And it was an interesting journey. It took us a couple of years to really get it right. But Silversea has incredible experience. Silversea was the first ever ultra luxury cruise line. And that experience, together with the deep destination experience that my team brought, we created the perfect cocktail. You have luxury on the one hand, expedition on the other hand. What better? We pride ourselves in offering a luxury experience. And luxury can mean a lot of things. For us at Silversea Expeditions, luxury is what our guests experience through our signature beautiful Silversea experience, the cuisine, the butlers, the onboard amenities. But that is not enough to be a luxury expedition company. A luxury means you have the most qualified expedition staff in the industry. It is the attention to detail that we have in delivering the experiences. Many companies that operate in the expedition industry, we visit the same destinations. And for us as a luxury operator, it's how we deliver the destinations form part of our luxury experience. It's the research that we do. It's the intimate knowledge that we have of every single destination that we go to. It is our team's ability to interpret and share their knowledge. It's how we prepare the team to share their knowledge, to know the destinations. It is the safety aspect, how we train our staff, how we prepare them to deliver these experiences responsibly and safely. So all of that really is placed in our mind in how we define what a luxury expedition is. Smaller groups, behind the scenes access, visiting destinations that most people don't ever get to see. So for us, that is a really important element. It is the onboard element with our hotel operations team delivering beautiful, beautiful service, great food, flexibility, and the deep destination knowledge and how we deliver on these destinations. The hallmark of an expedition is the flexibility that that product needs to be successful. You know, we always joke that in Antarctica, in the Arctic, we don't plan anything. It's nature that dictates what we deliver. It's the ice, it's the weather, it is the wildlife. We are not in control. And that's the beautiful thing about visiting these incredible polar regions, is that we simply are not in control as humans. And that for me is such a beautiful part of visiting Antarctica. You know, going back to luxury expedition, you know, to be able to fully offer luxury, you need to be able to cater for all our guests and give all our guests the choices and the options to experience the destination. So with that in mind, we decided to employ Mandarin-speaking staff, not only as part of the expedition team, but also in the hotel team, at reception, guest relations, in the restaurants, in the bar, so that our Mandarin-speaking guests have access to that service on board the ship, have access to the knowledge, the expertise from the guides in their language. You know, that is such an important distinction for us. You know, we want to make sure that our guests really feel comfortable, that our guests really get the experience that they expect. We also extend that beyond just the expedition staff and the experience ashore. You know, we translate all the programs, we translate all the briefings, the lectures we've got simultaneous translation when we don't have a Mandarin-speaking lecture staff and it's an English-speaking lecture staff. We have simultaneous translation with earpieces for our Mandarin-speaking guests. And then, of course, we offer, you know, awesome Asian cuisine on board the ship. Now, we focus very heavily on international cuisine. That's the beauty of Silversea. But we do vary it, and we do bring Asian cuisine, the comfort food that our guests really miss when they're not at home. So again, it is all about the guests. It is all about the guest journey and a very, very strong, very serious focus on the guest experience. So Silversea made the decision to move all our operations from Argentina, Ushuaia, to Chile. And that was strategic because the reality is Ushuaia is very crowded and quite complex. We made the decision to move to Puerto Williams because we're the only company that operates there. You know, none of our competitors operate out of Puerto Williams. So our guests don't experience crowds, we don't experience delays. The airport experience is super, super easy. In fact, we are able to fly our guests directly from Santiago to Puerto Williams in specially leased aircraft that is specifically for Silversea Expeditions. The catering, the onboard experience on this aircraft is a business class experience, great food, great wine, pisco sour, everything that is traditional and local to Chile, we are able to offer that. That is something that nobody else offers. And because we operate in Puerto Williams, it is very, very exclusive to Silversea's guests. We went further and we decided to become the first expedition cruise company to own a hotel. So we have decided to build our own hotel where our guests going to Antarctica on the Fly Cruise product will stay in a Silversea property, Silversea Hotel, in this incredibly beautiful, beautiful part of South America. It is the southernmost city in the world, therefore it's the southernmost hotel in the world. And this hotel will be able, our guests that travel to Antarctica on the fly cruise will spend at least 2 nights. 1 night on the way to Antarctica, 1 night on the way back from Antarctica at this hotel, and really experience Silversea service, Chilean cuisine, really beautiful, beautiful experience. And that's very unique to Silversea Expeditions, you know, private charter flights, private airports, no crowding in Port Williams, and our own hotel to top that experience off.